Hello and welcome to my vape channel, and I'm going to do a review on the North Vision's Strawberry Dream Shake. Okay, cheers. It's nice and smooth. It's nice and sweet. I really like this flavor a lot. This flavor is called Gummy Bear. Okay, cheers. I really like this flavor a lot. It's nice and smooth. This tastes like gummy candy. And this is really, really good. This is a really good flavor. This is also a good flavor. Okay, can you guys hold on for 1 second? This is called the Mr. Vapor Deluxe Bar. And the flavor is strawberry burst. Okay, cheers. This tastes like a strawberry shake. It's nice and smooth. I definitely like this flavor a lot. And this one is called the Orange Lemon Pomegranate. Okay, cheers. I really like this flavor. It's nice and smooth. And I really like it. This one is called the Geek Ball Paws Sour Crab Apple. Okay, cheers. I really like it a lot. It's nice and smooth. It tastes like homemade apple juice. And I really like it. This one is called Berry Bliss. It's nice and smooth. I really like this flavor a lot. This tastes like blueberry pie. That's what it tastes like. Thank you for watching.
Hey, welcome to Scorch's PFG TV! Live at our new location at the Plus in downtown Eau Claire. And I got to tell you something before I introduce Holly. This place is freaking amazing. This place is the epitome of PFG. Colin and Benny and the whole crew, God bless you guys. Colin, thank you for helping out tonight. Amazing. Give it up for my pal Holly Ho. It is Holly O'Connor. Before we go any further, last week on the show, we talked a little bit about my socks and how not only did I wear 2 pairs, but one of my socks was inside out. For whatever reason, it must be the thing I do. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm fried all the time. I don't know. I'm sitting on the set tonight. I'm looking at my sock. I'm like, well, this one here is kind of light gray. This one is dark black. And I realized that my other sock is on inside out one more time. I don't quite, I need my mommy to dress me. Hey, Bobby, I need you to come dress me. Which actually sounds kind of perverted.
Hello and welcome everyone to the Adorable Boy Podcast. I am your fearless leader, your spiritual guide, your best friend. Not really, but I still like you. Spud Adorableski. We have so much to do here today on the Adorable Boy Podcast. First of all, I want to thank you all for joining us. We wouldn't be anywhere without you, and you number in the millions and millions. I'll tell you that, boy. Oh, yeah. We really couldn't do any of this without you. And so I want to thank you. Every time we come out here, every time I crack this mic, I want to thank you. We just had a great smorgasbord episode exclusively for the paid members, the smorgasbord members, and there are so many of you. Thank you guys, too. Whether you love us or hate us, thank you for paying for us. You want to support the show here? We're just going to do about an hour, a little quick free YouTube show for the people. But if you still want to support us here, right above my head, you can see the super tip QR code, supertip.gg/adorable podcast. And that's how you support the show. And you make your voice heard. You can leave, it's like a super chat on YouTube, but better, in my opinion. All right. So let's get started. Let's see. What do we got here? So much to talk about. I got some videos I want to play. We're not going to get to all of this. I got this whole thing on my rundown, but we'll get to some of it and we'll really enjoy it. Okay, let's see. Okay, so we haven't talked about this guy yet. The new mayor of New York City, Mr. Zoran Mamdani, I believe that's how you say his name. Let me fix my camera here. It's not looking great. There we go. Okay. And he apparently is an avowed socialist. We'll get right into this. I got some videos to play on him. I got some stuff to talk about. So let's see. We have this video. This is a video about apparently his housing plan. Haven't watched it. I like to get the interaction. I like to give you my honest and immediate reaction. And, you know, I just make it funny and great because I am funny and great. I'm a shock jock, let's be honest. And shock jocking has been very good to me. Okay, so here's this video. There he is. And, I mean, let's let him talk. Let's talk about it. Let's see. Hold on a second. Let me go back here. There we go. All right. And now we can play it. Go ahead, Mr. Mayor, I guess. I guess that's what we have to call you now. Well, not yet, so I won't call you that. I'll call you Zoran.
Morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Morning.
All right. We are gathered this morning in Lower Manhattan, a borough.
A new era for New York City. I wonder if it'll be a new era for everyone. Let's see.
Where average rents recently hit their all-time high, with a nearly 10% surge above last year's average.
And why is that, Mr. Mamdani? Do you think it's not controlled enough by the government, by you? That's why rents are so high. I mean, you couldn't get more like you than de Blasio was. He was just a lot more unlikable. And I don't know, he had 2 terms, though, so I guess he was kind of likable. But you're in a city where what you do, socialism, has been tried, and it's failing. And you're telling me it's failing, but now you're saying that's more of that. Okay. All right, keep going.
And this story is the same across the city that we call home. Higher prices, fewer available units, virtually nothing on the market for working people. Hundreds of thousands of New Yorkers are just one rent hike, one medical emergency, one layoff from joining the ranks of the homeless in our city, which have swelled to the greatest numbers since the Great Depression.
So again, you guys have been doing what you've been doing for this long, and this is where we are. So you want to do what you do more. Okay. All right, let's see how that works. That makes sense, right? That's logical.
There is good news, however. There has
Oh, no, there isn't. No, there isn't. Not yet, anyway. There will be, though.
never been more consensus across the ideological spectrum, which have swelled to the greatest numbers.
I'm sorry, I had to hear that again. Hold on.
Since the Great Depression. There is good news, however. There has never been more consensus across the ideological spectrum that we are indeed in a housing crisis and the deep necessity of building more housing across these 5 boroughs.
There has never been more of a consensus that we are in a housing crisis. Yes. Okay, sure. I can buy that because of ideologies like you, but less extreme. So now you want to go there and go more extreme, and that's going to fix it. And you give all this flowery language like, oh, you know, we can do it and we're together and blah, blah, blah. We'll get to his, I think I have some of his inauguration speech. We'll get to that too. The warmth of collectivism. I'll give you my opinion on that, and you might be surprised. But anyway, okay, keep going, Zoe. Zori.
So
sorry.
Today, I am meeting with 2 sets of stakeholders who I believe can share key insights into how we've arrived at this point and how we can move forward to a dynamic, growing, and affordable city. I just left a meeting with business leaders in real estate.
Okay, so again, he's saying we're in a crisis. New York City's in a crisis, and we need to fix it, and we're going to be dynamic and whatever he said there. Okay, so he's using buzzwords to get everyone on his side. And they will vote. They will do anything he says to do until he loses his party's favor, and then they'll hate him, which is kind of what happened with de Blasio a little bit. Not completely, but I mean, I think it's pretty... I mean, I guess from just what this guy is saying, what Zori's saying, de Blasio failed because he was the mayor for 8 years, and they're worse off than ever. So if he thinks he won't lose favor eventually, he probably will. Unless he's a Stalin type, which I'm not saying he is, I don't know. And a Stalin type is the most wicked among us who thrive in this kind of economy. So if he is a Stalin type, then everyone's in trouble. So, and I'm not trying to fearmonger. But okay, I shouldn't be so vague to say everyone's in trouble. If he is the Stalin type, he must be stopped politically. We have to get the ideology out there. Someone has to, people have to question, and they are, and we all have to do it. It is almost our duty, if we accept it, to go out and say, hey, what you're saying doesn't make any sense. You want to do exactly what we've been doing, but more, and think that's going to make better outcomes, and it won't. But let's hear him. Let's hear Zori talk.
Who are investing in and building projects across the 5 boroughs. And I spoke not only about my continued commitment to freeze the rent for more than 2 million rent-stabilized tenants, but also my commitment.
By the way, rent freezing is horrible and gives the exact opposite of what you wanted. If you want to get housing for people, rent freezing isn't the way to go. It's proven it doesn't work. I invite you, and everyone will say Thomas Sowell is an idiot, but he's not. I invite you to read he explained it so perfectly. I invite you to read about Thomas Sowell's words about that, because rent freezing, it's obviously an artificial control of the market, and it just screws everything up. So and a pretty an outline of it would be, it used to be that you would, when you were in your 20s, just starting out, you have a cheap apartment, you get a family, get a bigger apartment, live there, raise your family. Then your kids go off and you don't need that big apartment or house anymore. So you go back to small, and then, someone at the base, a young couple then gets a small house, gets the bigger house, upgrades, and all that happens. But with rent freezing, it does exactly that. It freezes that. So now you have this couple that doesn't need all the space in this house, because why would they move somewhere else when it's cheaper to stay there with more space? They wouldn't. It doesn't make any sense. So if you let the market do what it does, things work. If you artificially try to stop the market, it doesn't. And that's why you have not necessarily a housing crisis, but an affordable housing crisis, because you have the builders are going to build more expensive things for the richer people, because that's what they'll get paid for. I didn't explain it perfectly there, but it's great what Thomas Sowell, how he put it, and you should read it, I think. Should read anything Thomas Sowell wrote, even if you think he's wrong.
To asking and understanding the roadblocks that they have faced in building more housing across the city, and how we can ensure deeper levels of affordability, how we can partner in advocating for the resources this city deserves from the federal administration. And I ensured that my door to their feedback, their concerns, and to identifying areas of collaboration will always remain open. Later today, I will meet with New Yorkers who have not been so fortunate. New Yorkers who have directly experienced homelessness, and some of the advocates who have spent...
There's it's almost like a doom kind of music going on. It must just be the hum of the background, but I think that's funny. I think it's ironic. Listen.
Years in fighting for the dignity of those sets of New Yorkers.
I just hear it's like a action movie where like a trailer with a bad thing is happening. That's what it sounds like to me. Maybe you hear it, maybe you don't.
I will ask them to share their perspectives, their insights, their recommendations as well. And more than anyone, these New Yorkers have viscerally experienced the central contradiction of our time, that we live in the wealthiest city, in the wealthiest country, in the history of the world, and yet it is increasingly unlivable for many. I look forward to...
Why is that, Zori? Why is that? What happened there? What kind of leadership has New York City had for all but 8 years in the past 60? Right? You had the stereotype New York of the 70s, 80s, where you wouldn't want to go there. There was danger and just terrible things everywhere. Giuliani comes in, and what you like Giuliani, you hate Giuliani. The fact is that he changed New York City. He made it the tourist attraction that it became again. And not to say it always, tourists would always come there, but they were a lot safer and businesses were better and the city was better. You have that for 8 years. Then you have Bloomberg for 8 years, who, though liberal mindset, did what Giuliani did. He didn't change much. Another 8 years of prosperity and overall safety. If you look at the crime numbers for New York City, from the mid 90s until about 2014, 15, it's pretty staggering for a city of its size, how low the crime numbers were. And then you had de Blasio in 2014, and he changed that. And it's been on a downward spiral since then. And this guy is going to, all indications, maybe I'm wrong, but all indications are that it's going to be less safe. It's going to be worse for businesses. It's going to go back to how it was. And these are your policies. So I don't know how you expect to get to prosperity through this there, Zori.
Continuing these conversations over the next weeks of this transition and as the next mayor of this city. Addressing the housing crisis is going to take all of us, and I am committed to that work. Thank you.
Let's start with some on topics about the meeting and housing. Yeah.
I can't wait to hear the questions. I wonder if a real question slips through, or if they're all just softballs. Can't hear the question, so that stinks. He's nodding a lot. Keep nodding. Come on.
You know, one point that was shared in the meeting
We can't hear the questions, but I'm sure we can get a lot from his answers.
was within the conversation around what the public sector can do better. It's something that I've spoken about over the course of this campaign.
This should be fun.
The deep necessity to make sure that this is the most efficient and the most excellent city government that this city has seen.
Okay, hey, if he's into that, I'm on board. However, I don't imagine that we're going to see efficiency. I imagine we're going to see a lot of investment, little return, no transparency. But maybe I'll be wrong. But look for it. Listen, if you hate my ideology, okay, but you cannot disagree that the way to gauge success is to look at the investment and look at the output, and then make your decision. That's all I'm saying to do. That's all I am saying to do. That's all I'll do. I mean, am I prejudiced? Yeah, because I know where this goes. I know what leaders like this do. I know they don't have a strong philosophy. I know they change with the wind, like Whim Jim. We'll get to Cornet Tober, by the way. Hopefully we'll have time. But that's all I'm saying. We need the transparency to see if it's successful, and we won't get that transparency. We'll get numbers probably, but I question the veracity or the relevance of the numbers we'll get.
And one example that was raised was that you have to go to 4 to 6 agencies just to be able to fill a tree pit in this city. And that is an example of how difficult we have made it to do some of the most basic things.
I agree with him on this.
And I shared my belief.
Though eliminating the bureaucracy doesn't seem like, from his inauguration speech, doesn't seem like it's a goal here. But maybe it is. Maybe I'm wrong. If this guy gets efficiency and reduces crime and makes the city safe for people, I'll be on board. It's just, let's be honest, these are words, and I don't think he has. It's hard to say. I don't know him personally. I don't think he really has any intention of making things more efficient. Really, I think his actions will prove to make things less efficient. I can't say that he's evil to the core, though. Maybe he's just misguided. He is pretty young, I think. I don't know how old he is. In his 30s. So the optimist in me, and I've been noted as one of the best optimists on the planet. The optimist in me makes me think, okay, he's going to learn from this and become better. The likelihood, though, is that he's going to fall deeper and deeper into the cult of the Democratic Party, of socialism, of evil. Probably unknowingly, maybe not unknowingly. I don't know. If it's not unknowingly, then he may, then he's someone that we have to ideologically battle. But again, I'll be optimistic. He's talking a good game here. He's saying things that I think usually they'll avoid saying. But again, I don't know how this guy's actions will go to increase efficiency.
Belief in the necessity of us working together to ensure that we have a workable housing system, to ensure that we take on things that we have become too complacent with. For example,
what's a workable housing system? A market gives you a workable housing system. Charity, why? That's if he's so into. If all of these people, I can't just put this on him. If all of these people are so into helping the less fortunate, why not make charity systems where you don't have to deal with the government? Why not put that as a priority? Get all your actor friends, all your writer friends, all your politician friends together and make these charities that legitimately, where almost all of the money, minus whatever scant, resources they have to put forth, almost all the money goes to helping people get housing or get food or whatever it is. Why not? And that's always the question. Why not do that? Why doesn't anyone do that? And the answer is because there are a lot of big corporations who are in bed with politicians from both sides that don't want that to happen. And there's a contingent of the government that doesn't want a free market, which is what our country is founded on, the individuality of a free market. So that's why these people don't go out there and say, we'll just do a charity. We don't need the government to oversee it. We don't need any of that. Of course, the government will take their taxes and whatever they take, and that's, if this guy had a heart for that, he probably wouldn't even be mayor. He'd be out there trying to make that happen. And if he did become mayor, that would be the main message, because that's not theft. When you do it, when someone gives voluntarily to a charity to help people, that isn't theft. What he advocates for, what all the socialists advocate for, is theft, and it's wrong. And it doesn't matter what the stated goal of the theft is. The theft is wrong. And the money never quite all gets to the stated goal, does it? Bernie Sanders has 3 houses, huh? That's interesting.
That it takes 252 days on average to fill an affordable housing unit, which in the most expensive city in the United States of America should be the easiest thing that we do. And I opened the discussion up to each and every person that was there to hear their ideas on what we could be doing better, how we could be working together. Because no matter our differing opinions on politics at large, New Yorkers as a whole are all invested in the welfare and the future of this city, and that is no different at the table that we were at. And I appreciated the New Yorkers who helped us to convene that discussion, in Emma Foman from the Association for a Better New York, and Kathy Wild and Stephen Fulop from the Partnership for the City of New York, as well as in my own team that helped to bring that discussion together.
Did members of
How you doing?
members of the real estate community bring up your recent commitment to do away with homeless encampment suites in an effort to better flesh out your position? Because I think it's being caricatured a little bit by the conservative right. Where do you draw the line with ending suites? For example, if someone takes over half a subway car or obstructs the entirety of a sidewalk, even then are you opposed to an encampment suite?
What I'm opposed to is the failure that we've seen to characterize the Adams administration's approach to this. What I'm opposed to is...
I forgot about Eric Adams. That's funny. Well, he was... Again, man, that 4 years just slipped by me. I'm a successful shock jock, so sometimes it happens. But what I said still goes. Adams was a liberal, and they turned on him pretty quick because he, tried maybe to change a little bit of the anti-cop, anti-law things that were going on in NYC after de Blasio. But again, what I said still stands. The same kind of leadership. He was not a capitalist, not a, economically, and he wasn't a great mayor. And I don't think this guy will be either. And de Blasio wasn't. And so goes New York. But again, I'm optimistic that in the not too distant future, New York will come to its senses again and elect someone that will actually make New York great again. Get it? NYGA. Oh boy. That's not a good slogan. All right. Anyway, go ahead.
Looking at an entire calendar year and seeing the Adams administration be unable to connect a single homeless New Yorker that was affected by those sweeps to permanent housing. And in this conversation, what I spoke about with leaders within the real estate industry was the importance of us reducing the timeline of getting New Yorkers into affordable housing, because we cannot actually disentangle the question that we are speaking about right now with the 252 days that it takes to fill one of those units. Because the quicker we can fill those units, the fewer New Yorkers we will have living outside. There is no question that these are not conditions that we are standing in right now that any New Yorker should be living in. The question, however, is whether we will be satisfied by just shuttling those New Yorkers to another equally cold place in our city, or whether we want to connect them to housing.
But I think New Yorkers are wondering, in that very specific scenario where there is where something affecting quality of life, what does Mayor Mamdani do?
Mayor Mamdani ensures that we connect those New Yorkers with actual housing.
How?
We cannot allow ourselves to become complacent with what has become the norm in this city And that doesn't mean leaving New Yorkers to sleep in the cold.
So he already admitted that there's a bureaucracy, that there's difficulties in doing exactly what he just said, connecting New Yorkers to houses so they don't have to sleep, to housing so they don't have to sleep outside in the cold. So he's admitting that there's a bureaucracy. Why not circumvent the bureaucracy? If there were independent charities who said, okay, this one is housing, that one, the government isn't running it. The government has no say in how the funds are dispersed or where they go to or however. And someone will say, well, they'll be corrupt. Okay, now what's more likely to be corrupt? An agency not affiliated with the government, not affiliated with the law enforcement or military at all, who also can be put out of business if they are found to be corrupt and arrested, because embezzling it would be a crime, is a crime. So you have this independent charity who are watched by the citizens, where transparency is encouraged, and if it's not given, people stop giving money to them. Another independent group does what they do, and then they do it better. They do it more honestly. They do whatever. So that you can have that, or you can have compared to the government, who has the power of the law enforcement, who has the power of the military, who can literally do anything they want. If really, they have the power to. Now, logically, philosophically, they don't. And if they know that the check on that power is that if they did, then they lose all control, and then they're not. If it was a federal government, they're not the United States anymore. And that's the check on that. But I would be much more likely to trust the independent organization and have them in every city. And, I don't know, maybe you could have a federal one, but I would think keeping it smaller would be better. I guess you'd see how it goes. I would trust that independent one over the government any day. So why isn't his focus? Why isn't his eye on getting away from the bureaucratic red tape, taking it completely out of government? Because if he really wants to do what he's saying, that is the best way to do it. And that also doesn't involve stealing from the citizens. I think most people, and it depends on how you market it to them, most people would say, yes, I'd rather live in a city without 100,000 homeless people. That's the city I'd rather live in, so I will give my money because I know it's going to there. And if it's not, then I will stop giving my money to them and I'll give it to someone else. Or maybe I'll start my own thing to give people housing. All right, go ahead, Zori.
It means connecting those New Yorkers with a place that they can actually be warm.
Yeah, Dana.
Oh, mine was off topic. So was mine.
Oh, we can.
Oh, okay, thank you. Hi.
We'll just go with
And
her.
then we'll go to you. Thank you.
Thanks. Hi, I'm Ramona. So,
How are you?
given your sort of proven ability to raise prolifically from small donors, I was curious why your transition has sort of gone to sort of big
I can't hear that well, but I think she said something about how he's able to raise a lot of money.
donor events. Why is that an important thing as far as transition?
We are looking to raise the money necessary to have a successful transition and to be ready on day one to deliver on the needs for working New Yorkers. And unlike in the primary and in the general, there are no public matching funds in this period. And so it is every dollar that has to be raised of the $4 million we have to has to be raised privately. And I've been proud to raise more than 95% of that money from donations of less than $250 for more than 30,000 people across the city and across the country.
Yeah, we'll go right behind you.
I think I'll look into who's giving him money. That's interesting. That's always a good thing to look into. Because, I think, politics is kind of a sleazy game. So maybe things could have been done in a way where, it's really one organization giving a large part of that money, but through individuals in small amounts to make that number look impressive. I'm not saying that happened. It can happen, though, and I'd like to know that it didn't. Not that I'll ever be able to prove it, probably.
10 cent per $100 tax on stock transfers. It collected millions and millions over many years. In the early 1980s, neoliberals, Democrats were worried Wall Street might leave, whatever. They started rebetting it back. Since that time, $600 billion has been rebetted back to Wall Street. And London's had something like this on the books. They called it a Tobin tax for centuries. Isn't it time
Oh, they are not happy.
Rebating back billions of dollars to Wall Street.
My focus in raising additional revenue
Ooh.
is on raising the personal income taxes for the top 1% of New Yorkers by 2% and increasing the state's top corporate tax to match that of the top tier of New Jersey's corporate tax. And I think that these are critically important as we fight to fully fund our city agencies and fund our affordability agenda. But I do appreciate the context and the importance of us making sure that working class New Yorkers are not being pushed out of the city they call home.
Yeah, thank you. We'll go to Katie right here.
Oh boy, that was fun.
You don't believe in ending the rebate back to Wall Street.
My focus is on the,
Oh,
the
he won't
tax
answer.
policies I put forward. So
He won't answer. Oh boy. Now see, it doesn't really matter because everyone who loves him, and people who don't like him, and very few are going to change their mind. But look at that. The guy, all the leftists talk about, all socialists talk about is how evil the rich are. So this guy was asking a question, are you going to stop giving a lot of money to Wall Street? And I mean, he would like to just say yes, probably, because that would be the best for his situation. But he can't, because that'll make them very, very mad, and he cannot lose them. So all the people that think this guy is on the people's side, what does that tell you? He will not speak out against that. He will say, well, I want this esoteric concept of the rich. Oh, raise the tax on the 2%, on the 1%, whatever the hell he said. That he can say because it's vague. It's not really, no one anyone who can be identified by that is already very powerful and probably in this guy's ear, and he's in their pocket, probably. I can't prove that, obviously. But he will not answer that question. See, and if he was really fighting for the people, he would be able to answer that and say, well, or at least say, I mean, if I were him, I would have answered with, we're going to look into everything. And I think you'll be happy with what we do. I mean, he's lying anyway, so why not lie that way? It'd be smarter. But it's just so interesting, the games they play. That guy, he was obviously emotional. They didn't want him there. They gave him his time, though. I will give him that. Zori allowed him to, which is good optics for him. But he would not answer that question. He would not speak against those people. And those are the people all the way on the top who are really manipulating and doing bad things. They're not capitalists. People will call them capitalists because they're rich, but they aren't. They've gotten their money and they're corrupt. And they have the ears of every politician, including this guy. Don't believe that's not true. It's true. They probably have most people's ear except Trump. And I'm not saying that because I'm some, lunatic. But Trump is different. Everyone knows he's different. I can't explain exactly how he's different, but he's different. Everyone sees it. I'm not saying he's not beholden to anyone. I'm not saying he's great. I'm not saying any of that, but he's different. And this guy, the people that hate Trump, the people that want Trump out, the people that manipulate, the people that control things economically, they're in this guy's ear. You can tell from that exchange.
Mayor-elect, this week the Department of Justice put out a memo directing joint terrorism task forces to investigate anti-Trump activists as terrorists. The NYPD has members on joint terrorism task force, another task force. Have you spoken to Commissioner?
I'll be interested to hear this about Trump's
potential participation
supporters.
in these types of investigations? And would you reconsider the NYPD's involvement here if it is ordered to investigate anti-Trump activists as terrorists?
I haven't had that conversation yet, but it is one that I will follow up on.
And how do you feel about? I mean, is this something that you want the NYPD taking
Well,
part
that's
in,
not an
or
answer.
would you want them maybe to reconsider their relationship with the Joint Terrorism Task Force if this is being ordered?
We need to ensure that all actions of our police department are also looking to safeguard the constitutional rights of New Yorkers and not looking to chill the freedom of expression we have in this city.
Yeah, we'll go to Larry.
Vague answer, but expected. How much more is left of this? 5 minutes. I think we're almost done with it. See what this question is, and we'll gauge it.
We spoke more about the importance of building additional housing and how that would address the housing crisis at large across the country.
And how would you maintain it? How would you build it? How would you give it out? That's my question. Because it's easier to say we want to get everyone houses, but there's reality that you have to deal with, and I'd like to hear about that.
We spoke about the key of reducing the 252-day wait on average to fill an affordable housing unit, and how if we can reduce that time, we can actually make it easier to connect homeless New Yorkers with those exact kinds of housing.
Oh, so you mean if you cut the red tape and the bureaucracy? Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Good morning, Mayor-elect. Just want to focus on the governor's comments, how she was speaking out against ending the encampment suites. She said that she doesn't believe allowing New Yorkers to sleep on sidewalks and bridges is humane. What's your direct response to the governor's comments?
I do not think that leaving New Yorkers to sleep in the cold is the answer. I also don't think that pushing those New Yorkers to sleep elsewhere in an equally cold setting is the answer either. I think the answer is connecting those New Yorkers with housing.
He's really dedicated at that point. I don't know the whole situation, but he's really, that's his thing right there.
And what I
And this is before he was mayor, I guess, is when, yeah, okay. It's when he's mayor-elect.
said time and again since I was asked this question is that we have to look at the efficacy of the Adams administration's policy on this. It is a policy that did not connect a single New Yorker to permanent housing in an entire year. That cannot be a policy we continue. We have to create a policy that actually puts these New Yorkers in a place that is warm, not a
Again, liberal mayor, liberal policy, didn't get anything done. Let's do more.
place that is just as cold.
You got time for like 2 hours.
My policy would look like much of what I've spoken about today,
Ooh, I was just
which
gonna
is
stop
actually
it, but-
reducing the wait times of putting New Yorkers into affordable housing
How?
units and ensuring that when homeless New Yorkers look at their options, they no longer think that the best option for them is to sleep out on a bench like the one behind me, but is instead to be in a shelter that is safer than the ones that we have today.
Yeah, right behind you.
Oh, that's a whole other thing. Homeless shelters, they're very unsafe, and a lot of people just don't want to be there. But hey, I'm rooting for him. I don't believe in him, but I am indeed rooting for him. All right, so let's go back to our studio here. There we go. All right, good work, guys. Good work, team, on getting that together. We did a Adorable Boy special on Saturday night. We had a lot of fun. I enjoyed that. Yeah, we're going to do these pop-ups on YouTube every once in a while just for the fans. Whatever. It's just for the fans. You guys love it. We love it. We love you, Adorable Boy Disciples. And we're going to keep giving you what you love. All right, here's another press conference. Should we watch it? I'll give it a few minutes and we'll see. And then we'll move on to other things. There it is.
City, where Mayor Mamdani about to make some remarks talking about
So
housing.
let's just listen here.
Let's
Talking
listen.
more about housing.
Good afternoon, everyone.
I thought we cut up his. I don't. My producer's not here. I got a bunch of interns working. Olga, did we cut up the inauguration address? Okay, she's babbling in her language. Okay, it's okay. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Yeah, it's fine. I thought we did. We didn't. We'll listen to this and then we'll move on.
I want to say thank you to all those who made this day possible. Thank you to Fortune Society. Thank you to Health and Hospitals. And thank you to the elected officials who made today possible in the months and years prior to this moment. And I'm proud to say that Councilwoman Nurse is also here with us. Thank you. Thanks to her for being one of those. We are together.
Councilman Nurses are here. Thank you. Thanks to her for being one of those. That was awkward, but I dig it.
Here to announce the reactivation of Just Home.
I don't know what Just Home is. I should have. I thought we were going to watch a different video, but it's okay. Hey, shock jock, on the fly. That's how we do it. I don't know what Just Home is, but I'm guessing it's some kind of housing initiative.
A first of its kind housing initiative that promises to transform the lives of those that it serves.
Most readers look like you got them from the drugstore in 1997.
But I don't need to tell anyone.
Frankenbeans. I'm sorry. Hold on. Pause. Frankenbeans. Still, we're paying for YouTube Premium. We don't have it. He's lost somewhere in a bread factory. I don't know where. We'll get to that too. Hopefully, if we have time. But I'm sorry. We have YouTube Premium, but with some reason not getting the benefits of it. So I apologize.
This day was far from promised. We stand here only because of the hard work of so many whose names I have shared as well as those that I have not. Advocates and activists in the Bronx and as well as across this city. Only because of the untiring work done by so many in the council who believed that this project could be won despite the opposition, and only because of New Yorkers' refusal to abandon the most vulnerable among us, and only also because of the incredibly talented public servants that I am proud to call a part of my administration. It feels fitting, frankly, that we are celebrating this progress on the day set aside to remember a man who dedicated his life to fighting for the downtrodden. Because make no mistake, as we reactivate the Just Home Supportive Housing Project, we are not simply creating 83 new apartments and supporting those who are struggling. We are advancing the cause of justice. I think of what Dr. King said in his Three Evils speech when he called for our nation to undergo a revolution of values. That revolution, he said, will soon cause us to question the fairness and justice of many of our past and present policies. True compassion, he said, is more than flinging a coin to a beggar. It understands that an edifice which produced beggars needs restructuring. I know that many of us have.
I would agree on that with the great Dr. Martin Luther King. So I don't know why you think that doing more of what we've been doing, more of what got us to this record homeless, number is gonna then not do that next, when you do it. So, all right, give it another second, I guess, see if anything interesting happens here.
Difficulty questioning the fairness and justice of many of our city's past policies and those who pursued them. But I seek not to dwell on questions of blame. I seek instead to pursue that rule of true compassion.
All right, I think we're good there, Mom Donnie. All right, let's see. So, as it's been, people have been asking me emails. Thank you for getting in touch with us, adorablepodcast@gmail.com. He said the warmth of collectivism will replace the cold of individualism or something. I don't, he has a whole staff of advisors. He's probably a pretty smart guy. He had to know what reaction people would have to that. So it's all, monitored and measured and all that. So whatever. But, he did say it. He said the warmth of collectivism will replace the coldness, I guess, of individualism. So came up with, I have some ideas, and I think the Mamdani, why can't I think of a word? Administration, that's the word. I'm a shock jock, sometimes we forget things. So I came up with some marketing information for this collectivist, the warmth of collectivism. So I think here we go. So first, and here we got a graphic here. Cellulitis, a glorious future. Now, cellulitis is a disease and the inevitable reduction in sanitation for everyone, but the rich and the politicians will undoubtedly increase cellulitis cases. So when you have cellulitis, a lot of times your skin becomes warm. So members of New York who are freezing, huddle up against your afflicted friend when waiting for your monthly water ration. The warmth of collectivism will help you endure. And I support that wholeheartedly. Your friend got cellulitis, you might as well put it to use. All right, cellulitis, a glorious future. Next one. The Chimera Scarlet will be warm as they assault you. All right. So the Mamdani administration they could, maybe they should, maybe they shouldn't. I'm just putting this out there. Create a peacekeeping force known as the Khmer Scarlet. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Khmer. It's absolutely nothing like the Khmer Rouge. These soldiers will be issued very warm clothing and even those hand warmers that you put in your pocket and your gloves and everything. And as you stand online on cold New York City nights, waiting to see if there's a spot for you to sleep in the basement of the rendering plant, You can take comfort knowing that the men, women, and non-binary folk with the billy clubs at your back will be toasty warm. And the Mamdani administration will also burn the wrappers of the hand warmers, and you can stay warm by that fire if you're allowed to go near it. It's only pollution when non-communists do it, so don't worry about that. It's perfectly fine. All right, the next one. There will be fleece holders for billy club holders. That should say that there. It doesn't. For the jackboot thugs, they will provide fleece. The administration will provide fleece holders for the Khmer Scarlet's billy clubs. So then the people that they beat with them will feel the warmth as they wake, in the morning when they're taking their daily beating. So perfectly. That's perfectly. Shocked up. Perfect. They're going to be warm. The jackbooted thugs are going to be warm, and their billy club's going to be warm when they beat you with them. All right, perfect. Fleece holders for jackbooted thugs. Hypothermia for a better tomorrow. Yes. During one of the last stages of hypothermia, vasodilation can occur. This is your body's last ditch effort to warm up your freezing body and produce a warm feeling. So after they take you home, your last moments will be imagined ecstasy as your body slowly freezes until it dies. And don't worry, they're going to collect and burn your body, which will also be warm. The fire, another fire you can warm yourself to, before anyone important sees you. All right. So the next one, let's see. Next one, move the slide. There we go. Mamdani will take vacations for the people. All right. So sometimes we want to feel cold, when Mamdani and all the corporate people and the rich people that, everyone demonizes, but then also allows them to do whatever they want. That's socialism for you. When they're on there taking a vacation on a private island, sometimes they get sweaty and they would like to be cold. They would trade places with you. They endure that. Mayor Mamdani endures that so that you don't have to. So there you go. I think you should be thankful for that. That's what I think. All right, your sacrifice helps your betters. This is all about the warmth of collectivism, everyone. The warmth of collectivism. As the lower strata of people go away, there will be much more energy to keep the vanguard of the proletariat warm. In your final hours of life, before hunger or exposure ends you, know that you are contributing to improving the lives of your betters. I think you should really take pride in that, knowing that even when you die, as gruesome and as suffering and full of suffering as it may be, you're helping the people above you. You're helping the politicians. You're helping the corporations who are paying the politicians. Indirectly, you're helping the wait staff at restaurants that serve the politicians and the corporations. And their domestic crew at their houses, wherever they are, all over the world. You're helping people all over the world by sacrificing because of the warmth of, and that's how you feel the warmth of collectivism. That is the warmth of collectivism. Got a little excited there. All right, next one. Plan a nightly getaway to the pile of burning bodies. Could be very romantic. You and your, nutrient depleted love, head over there. And could be any gender, I'm not judging. Head over to the pile of burning bodies and just get warm, and that is the warmth of collectivism, if I've ever seen it. The fire coming off the bodies of the people who died from collectivism, that is the warmth of collectivism. So enjoy it. The death toll will likely be so immense that they will have to start public burning piles in every borough, obviously. There's got to be one in every borough, probably, at least one. So feel free to warm your hands on the burning flesh of your deceased fellow citizens. It's what they would want. You deserve it. Collectivism. That's what it is. All right. Next, the warmth of collectivism. All right. Hating Donald Trump will keep you cozy. And you can all be together in doing that. Huddle together. Hate Donald Trump. Forget that you're dying of exposure and starvation. Forget. Donald Trump, hating him pretty much solves everything for a certain group of people think it pretty much solves everything. All right, let's see. Summer will be here soon. What are you complaining about? It's going to be warm in 6 months, 3 months, 4 months, whatever it is. Yeah, it might be -2 now, but at some point it's going to be 100, and then you'll be complaining about being too hot and dehydration and, getting burned by the sun. Then you'll want suntan lotion or something from some big corporation. That's not the warmth of collectivism. The warmth of collectivism is being heated emotionally by the idea that summer will be there soon and you'll all be warm. So there we go. All right. Let's see. How many more do we have here? Let's see. Oh, this is the last one. Who the hell do you think you are? You know, all this talk about being warm and freezing on the streets. Who are you to not be, on the streets in the cold? Who do you think you are? That's my question to you. And that is the warmth of collectivism in a nutshell. Oh, wonderful. See, that is the warmth of collectivism. I love it. Good work. Good work, guys. Good work, team. Collectively. Get it? All right. All right. So where should we go? The warmth of collectivism is not okay. That's what I say. But luckily, there's a bastion of okayness. And I think we should all take an example from the man who dares to be okay. Boomer.
Okay, boomer, yeah, boomer. Whatever you say, boomer. Okay, boomer, yeah, boomer. Whatever you say, boomer. Okay, boomer. Okay, boomer, yeah, boomer. Whatever you say, boomer. Boomer, yeah, boomer. Whatever you say, okay, boomer. Okay, boomer, yeah, boomer. Whatever you say, boomer.
All right, and for this week's edition of OK Boomer, we will go all the way back. Oops. I lost it. No. Oh, I lost the stats. Okay. Come on. All right, give me a second here, guys. We'll talk about how great Boomer Esiason is. Boomer Esiason once got into a fight with famed radio personality Anthony Cumia back when they were in, I think, 4th grade. Anthony tells the story quite well, and but Boomer is so good, they just reminisce about it and laugh. Okay, here we go. So we wanted to. Oh my goodness, I need Frankenbeans here. The studio's not right. It's not right when he's here either, but at least I can blame him. I guess I'm still blaming him. Anyway, let's see. Okay, we'll go all the way back to week. Where is it? Week 11 of the 1994 NFL season, where the New York Jets played the Green Bay Packers. They were in Lambeau. Boomer Esiason was 24 for 43 passing, a little bit over 50%. 214 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 TD, 1 sack. So, it was okay. He 1 touchdown, 1 TD. The definition of okay for a quarterback. Yards in the 200s. Boomer, he was doing what he was doing. He was trying to be the leader the New York Jets needed in the frozen confines of Lambeau Field. And was he great? No. Was he bad? Definitely not. He's never bad. What he was okay, Boomer.
Okay, boomer, yeah, boomer. Whatever you say, boomer. Okay, boomer, yeah, boomer. Whatever you say, boomer. Okay, boomer. Okay, boomer, yeah, boomer. Whatever you say, boomer. Okay, boomer, yeah, boomer. Whatever you say, boomer. Okay, boomer. Okay, boomer, yeah, boomer. Whatever you say, boomer. Okay, boomer, yeah, boomer.
All right, thank you, Boomer, for being who you are. And sometimes you're okay, and that's okay. All right, we can see it up on my screen here. It is time for Cornettober. We still don't have the jingle. I don't know what happened to it. Anyway, we'll get into it anyway, because it's Cornettober and there's kowtowing afoot, and we will not have it. All right, this may be the last thing we do. As I told you, it'll be a truncated show. Truncated, good word. Okay, so this episode of Cornet's Garbage Show, Whim Jim's Garbage Show, he talks about Mick Foley. Now, a little bit background. Mick Foley was a legendary wrestler. He had a few characters. He very, very respected in the wrestling industry. Very, very against Trump, hates Trump, is obsessed with hating Trump. It's sad that he's doing that. And anytime someone does that, I question why. What's making them so obsessed? And with this guy, I think he's just maybe not all that healthy emotionally, mentally. I don't know. But I mean, that's my guess, my thoughts. So Mick Foley, he went out publicly and said he's a WWE legend. He went out publicly and said he will have nothing to do with the WWE as long as Donald Trump is president because of their support for him. Now, my question is, they supported him in the 4 years before, and Mick Foley was fine with being part of WWE, associated with WWE. And eventually Trump won't be president anymore. And presumably Mick Foley's going to be okay with the WWE then. So really, what does not being with them for 3 years, what does that do? What does that say? Wouldn't it be better to still be part of them and speak out to show that discourse is possible? You don't have to completely remove yourself from somewhere because you don't like who they support. That seems like it'd be the better message. But what Mick Foley is, the message he's sending is, if you don't like someone, destroy your life. It's not that he's destroying his life, but you know what I mean. Do something that's not good for you. And I'm sure it's not really hurting Mick at all. He can not do a WWE thing for 3 years and be fine, and then make a lot of money when he does come back. And I assume he wants people to think he's a man of principles with this, but I don't see that at all. I see quite the opposite, actually. But hey, so we'll hear Jim Cornette's kowtowing thoughts on it, and we will eviscerate him verbally like we always do, and that is how we battle kowtowing. Okay, so let's start this. Again, I haven't listened to it. I like to get the reactions with you, along with you. I like to be one of you, even though, I'm very, very rich. All right, go ahead, Jim. Whim Jim. Oh, that's an awful way to start off a podcast.
All right, the Brunts and Grunts continue here on the show. We are back with more.
What did you hit the deep purple button on your console there to get that effect?
What effect?
The doom doom doom. It's that dong 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 dong.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if there are any younger adults who are part of our show, part of our audience, this is what kowtowing does to your brain. He called it Deep Purple and then went ahead and sang Inagata Davida, the tune to Inagata Davida. That's kowtowing for you right there.
All right, we're getting there. We're getting there, folks.
Yeah.
Jim, I'm going to ask you a few things about WWE Raw, because this was the follow-up to the pay-per-view, and there were a few things worth talking about. But before we get there, as we are recording here, some news came out, and it's trending. Mick Foley has put out a statement about his severing of his ties with WWE, although still under contract for a little while longer, apparently.
Okay, so again, 3 years, Trump will be president. And for some amount of time, he'll still be under contract with them. It's a lot of sacrifice he's doing. Very principled move on Mick Foley's part.
He's severing his ties. Do you want to talk about this a little bit?
The dominoes are starting to fall. And we haven't even got our show out yet, where we have talked.
How is that a domino falling? A guy Donald Trump doesn't care about isn't participating in his organization because of Donald Trump. I don't see that as a domino falling. I think it's a lie. I think it's kowtowing. I think Jim Cornette is kowtowing right off the bat here.
About it, and nobody has been able to come to a coherent defense of this fucking pig and his fucking pig-like behavior. And now even people, James Woods, you saw this, you just smartened me up to it. James Woods, the crackpot right-wing guy in Hollywood of all time, is condemning the idiot because he knew Rob Reiner and his wife personally. And now Mick, I just tweeted out, I've always liked him, but now he's my favorite human being in the world. He has principles. He has morals. He can tell right from wrong. He's always been
principles of doing nothing. And when he was part of the WWE before, when Donald Trump was president, and throughout this whole year, and will be again, where are the principles there, Jim? You speaking of principles, that is to laugh. And second of all, like Jim is, holding up these, it's like Jim is finding bottle caps in the sand and picking it up and saying, I got a diamond. James Woods didn't like something Trump said, and he said it. I don't know why that makes Jim Cornette so happy. Pretty pathetic there, Jimbo.
Against this guy and these people that enable him. But now he put his money and basically his reputation where his mouth was, and says, I'm not going to be affiliated with a company that what's the word? You'll read it in a second. Coddles this guy.
How did he put his reputation on the line there? It's one of the thing you could say and get the most support for, first of all. Because 90% of people who support Trump still like Mick Foley. It doesn't matter. And then everyone who hates Trump will look at this at like Mick Foley's a hero for doing nothing. So I don't see where he's putting any reputation on the line there, Jimbo. Or is that just you kowtowing? Oh, okay. That makes sense. I forgot. I'll note that you're kowtowing.
Read what he put out.
He put out a statement. By the way, this was news to me. I didn't know he was under a WWE deal right now. I don't think we've really seen him. Maybe he's
again. So what sacrifice is he making? This guy who's this co-host who presumably, I like saying presumably now. It makes me seem classy. Knows a lot about wrestling. Didn't even know he was under contract. Not doing anything. I mean, I don't. It's like Alex Rodriguez after he retired saying, "I'm not going to play for the Yankees anymore." How about that? Yeah, you're not playing for the Yankees. Okay. It means nothing. None of this means anything.
The Saturday nights.
But the war on kowtowing, the battle against kowtowing, the crusade against kowtowing, that means a lot. And that's what we're doing here.
Main events, I'm not even sure, but I don't even remember the last time we've seen him on TV.
For merchandising purposes, you can imagine how much Mankind Cactus Jack Mick Foley is still worth and a Legends contract and etc. There's
so he's still making money.
With
okay.
Most of these.
A Legends contract is what older wrestlers sign to sell merchandise and stuff like that. And it's quite lucrative. And I'm sure Mick I wonder if his swearing off of the WWE means that he won't make any money from the merchandise sold while for the next 3 years until Trump's not president. I wonder. I doubt it. I highly doubt it. But let's see. I don't know. I don't know how we'll find out. I don't really care. But it's just this whole thing is ridiculous. Made more ridiculous by the kowtowing.
Guys and the company in some form or another that can still be profitable for everybody, but he don't need it.
YouTube Premium is ad-free.
Oh, Frank and Beans. They're
background play, so you can watch videos while reading.
They're taunting me. I have YouTube Premium. It's just I don't know Frank and Beans. Oh, okay, go ahead.
I'm not exactly sure. This may be on Twitter. This is where I'm seeing it.
I should be more professional.
Parting ways with WWE. While I have been concerned about WWE's close relationship with Donald Trump for several months, especially in light of his administration's ongoing cruel and
he's been concerned for months, even though Trump has been president now 4 years before and now 1 year. But for months, it's really bothered him. Okay.
Humane treatment of immigrants.
And that was the thing in the first administration, too, about how he's inhumane to immigrants. Again, you didn't cut your ties then, did you? Still cashing those checks.
And pretty much anyone who looks like an immigrant.
Insane.
That's in quotes. Reading the president's incredibly cruel comments in the wake of Rob Reiner's death is the final straw for me. I no longer wish to represent a company that coddles a man so seemingly void of compassion.
You know, Donald Trump eats McDonald's, so he should also stop eating McDonald's. I don't know what Trump said about Rob Reiner's death. I don't really care. I wish Rob Reiner peace in the afterlife and his wife too. It's very sad what happened. It's terrible what happened. I'm sure Trump said something stupid. I don't care. Because I'm not looking to Trump to be my moral compass. He's battling the evil. And because it benefits him too. Okay. But he's battling the evil. That's it. And, is he a saint? Is he the devil? He's neither of those things. He's the president who's not doing all the bad stuff that got us to before. That was a terrible sentence. He's the current president who, so the media, other politicians, all of entertainment, they're so hell-bent on not letting him be president. They all were. I wonder why. Seems like there's very powerful people who stand to lose when he's president. But they never really lose, let's be honest. And that's all I see. Is he capitalist? Do I agree with all of his economic ideologies and policies? No, I don't. As everyone knows, the Adorable Boys are staunchly capitalist, and Donald Trump is not staunchly capitalist. But the other side is actively trying to destroy things with their dialectical, bullcrap. So yeah, I'm against them, and Trump is the president who's against them. So there, I support him while he's president. What he says about Rob Reiner, what he says about anyone, I don't care. I don't care. Why would I care? I don't. I don't care what Rob Reiner said either. I know he was very critical of Trump. I didn't care about that. I don't. All right, go ahead, Kowtows.
As he marches our country towards autocracy.
In what way? In what way is he marching our country towards autocracy? By trying to limit immigration like every other president did? That way? Except for Biden, really. Where is the autocracy? See, this kind of thing is dangerous because they're emboldening people to go out and try to hit people in their cars and get shot. This is a cult. This is cult-like behavior. And I guess Mick Foley is weak-minded. Either that or he's just plain evil, and I don't want to believe that. So I guess he's weak-minded. Anytime the cow tower in chief agrees with you, you're probably doing something wrong.
Last night, I informed WWE Talent Relations that I will not be making any appearances for the company as long as this man remains in office.
Okay, so he informed Talent Relations, which to me, and I could be wrong about this, means he just won't appear. He's still going to cash those merchandise checks. Very principled of you. Very principled. Why should you take that dirty money? Why should you take that money that you share with the company that coddles a tyrant, as you're putting it? That doesn't make any sense, Mick. And that is philosophically wrong and illogical.
Additionally, I will not be signing a new Legends deal when my current one expires in June. I love WWE.
Okay, well, there you go. He
will always treasure.
So until June, and he was in the contract. Okay, whatever. He might have signed it 4 years ago when Trump wasn't president. But I wonder if he's going to sign one, in, January 2029. I wonder if he'll sign one then with the company that enabled this tyrant. If we even have, maybe he'll be king by then, Mick. You going to sign it when he's king? That's what you're saying he is, or he wants to be. I don't know. I don't see how this is a courageous move at all. I see it as insane and stupid, and I see the rhetoric these people use as dangerous.
My time with them, and am deeply appreciative for all the opportunities they afforded me. But, in the words of Popeye the Sailor, I stands all I can stands, and I can't stands no more.
Boom. And I wish that more of the boys.
You could do it, Jim, but no one cares about you. And you've been blackballed anyway because of your comments and your insensitivity.
Especially from my generation, who I've been so disappointed by, weren't either willingly blind to what's going on here, or just don't want to make the office mad, or just really believe in this horse shit that this fucking guy has spewed. He has poisoned the well of society in our country for generations to come.
He has.
And you got to do something about it. And you can't.
You mean the guy that a member of your cult tried to kill? 2 members of your cult tried to kill. Okay. They're the ones who poisoned. Okay. Not the teenager who shot a guy who was giving a talk at a university. They're not poisoned. Oh, okay.
Can't be involved with.
It's astonishing to me that these people still don't understand why they lost and why Trump has support. And they continually try the strategy of guilting everyone into doing what they want. Now, I mean, he could go out on the street and ask 100 people if they voted for Trump, and he'd probably get 25 that are staunch Trump supporters that said yes, and then 75 that said no. And out of those 75, 30 of them actually did vote for Trump. They just don't have to deal with the crap. And that's what these people don't understand. They don't care what you think. They don't care if you call them scum. They just don't want to have to deal with you. So they say, yeah, whatever. Trump's terrible. Yeah, I didn't vote for him. Whatever. That's why they lose. Most of America wanted Trump to be president because they were sick of what was going on. And they still won't understand that. And because the way to battle that, if Jim Cornette or anyone else, Mick Foley, whoever, really thinks Trump is that evil, then make your party get a candidate who can win. who's not 90 years old and cognitively declined, who's not a DA with a terrible record that no one in a primary wanted, that couldn't win a primary if she was the only member, probably. Get a candidate that is electable. But no. It's just, well, Donald Trump is racist, and if you were voting for him, then you're racist, and I hate you, and you're scum, and blah, blah, blah. Not knowing that he's dealing with 100 Donald Trump supporters every day and dealing with them happily. It's just, it all goes back to the denial of reality. That's the root of everything bad, the root of evil, the denial of reality. And that's what Jim Cornette loves doing, and that is the heart of kowtowing, denial of reality. Let's be honest. Let's put that out there. I don't know if I've ever said that before, but that's the philosophy. The heart of kowtowing is the denial of reality. Podcasting is a noble venture that you should get into to entertain, to have fun, to make people feel better, to make people think. Not for your own personal gain where you spread your poison. That's the poison, Jimbo. Your kowtowing is poison.
People who won't do something, and not only won't do something about it, but are actively trying to support it for their own fucking financial gain. Because Linda's on this cabinet, or fucking Triple H is on this council, or they want to hobnob with the Kennedys. Fuck you.
I mean, and the WWE is very supportive of Trump, like individuals. Triple H, Vince McMahon, Linda McMahon is the Secretary of Education. So, I mean, really, Mick Foley should never do another thing with WWE, and he should never let them use his likeness if he can stop that. I don't know if he actually could stop that because they own all that stuff. But that's what he should do. Take an actual stand. Stay away from them for a lifetime. Will you do that, Mick? You won't do that. And if they wanted Jim Cornette to come in and manage or do whatever tomorrow, they wouldn't want this. But if they did, Jim Cornette would probably be there. That's what I think. Because there is no principle here. There's grandstanding, there's virtue signaling, and there's denial of reality. That's what it is.
Well, it wouldn't be the Kennedys. It would be one Kennedy. One Kennedy.
Well, it would be one, the black sheep Kennedy.
I also think it's funny that he, says the word Kennedys in a pejorative term when the Kennedys are the liberals of, they were the standard. But we all know the Democratic Party has changed since then. Boy, have they changed. But just
fuck you. That
you don't watch your mouth, Jim.
All of this money
watch
that
your mouth.
You'll never be able to spend in your entire miserable, greedy
You don't want money, Jim? You don't go
for
money?
Just
okay.
Stand there and put your arm around that fucking orange pig and just smile.
It can't be that they support him and they like what he's doing and the ideology and they reject what you think. No, they got to be greedy and ignorant. Okay. Everyone, you still haven't learned, Jim. None of you have learned.
Not everybody in the company is nuts, but they're scared to admit it if they aren't. When they called me, how many years ago it was, a few now, about the Kane biography or whatever, I said, if you'd have called me 5 years ago, I'd have been happy to be a part of it. But now he's standing there with his arm around Donald Trump, so I'm ashamed of him. Don't want to be on.
I wonder if that's true. I wonder if at least he's making a little bit of a stand. He's an idiot, but at least he'd be making a little of a stand. I wonder if that actually happened. Maybe it did. I don't imagine Jim Cornette has much integrity, so whatever. But if they asked Jim Cornette to be at WrestleMania this year, he would be there. That's my opinion.
And the unnamed person who I was speaking to said, well, I appreciate your honesty and your position. I wish not specifically about him, Glenn, but he just appreciated that hopefully that more people would have some goddamn principle. But nevertheless, bravo, Mick Foley.
Do you think this is just further escalation of the Mankind Triple H feud?
I think
it'll never be over.
Can we put Trump on a poll? If we can put Trump on a poll, I want to see those two one more time. Only the poll needs to be the way they did it in the medieval ages, where they inserted it up the rectum, greased, so that you would slowly...
You're getting weird here, Jim. Boy, your hate really runs the show there, doesn't it? Well, that's why you're Kowtower. That's why you're Kowtower in chief.
Sink on it because of your own body weight, and you would be disemboweled in slow motion.
Imagine putting this much thought into this hating this president, billionaire, celebrity who you'll never meet. Imagine that.
All right, you're much more familiar with these medieval tactics than I am. I didn't know that's what they were doing back then. Jesus.
Hey, I watch goddamn History Channel.
Oh, is that after hours? Is that after 10 p.m. they show that episode?
No, they say it a little bit fucking more politely than I did, but they give you the same general description, hoisted on your own petard.
Instead of the foods that made America, it's the Poles that made Europe.
The disemboweling that made the Dark Ages. And, hey, Trump wants to send us back to the Dark Ages. We could bring that back for him. If you put that on pay-per-view, you'd raise
Trump
enough
wants
money
to bring us
cure cancer.
back to the Dark Ages.
Well, we'll
and
see
you wonder why people get in cars and try to run over ICE agents or try to assassinate presidential candidates or internet personalities. You wonder. Trump wants to bring us back to the Dark Ages. Trump is an autocrat. Trump, evil, hates you. Trump hates you. And then when something terrible happens, well, he didn't have any empathy. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. It's not that the teenager who did it was brainwashed. What about the guy who shot the healthcare CEO on the street? Are healthcare premiums down? What was that, a year ago, 2 years ago? Anything go down? Anything better? Oh, okay. So just murdering someone on the street, murdering an individual on the street doesn't make healthcare go down? Oh, well, that's weird. I wonder where you got that idea. All right, we're done with that dummy. All right, we're going to check in. Vito, we don't have much time here. We're going to have to get going in a second. Vito, the vegan Guido, you are on location. Vito, can you hear us? You just dipped the lamp into minutes. Oh. Yes, but I don't know where the Frankenbeans is. I'm in some kind of forest with the bread factory. I don't know. I don't see nothing. All right, so you don't see anything. So you have no. So hold on, I got a picture here. Let's see. And I don't know who took this. If Frankenbeans took it himself, but he's there. Yeah, he's right in front of the factory you're in front of right now. Seems to be wandering with his headphones on. And you have no sign. We sent trackers with you. We sent a shaman. We sent the official adorable boy shaman with you, and you guys haven't gotten anything, huh? Okay. Well, I don't know. We got to find him. I need YouTube Premium. What do you want from me, Spud? I don't know where he is. He's not here. But we sent you there to find him, Vito. Okay. Tracer? But what am I? What am I? A bloodhound? I don't know. We sent the shaman with you. The factory and lights. What do you want from me, guys of a door? Why was he there? Did he just wander? And that's not very close to the studios. What was he doing there? What is this mystery that's unfolding, Vito? Yeah, so then we went back to her house. I don't know, Spud. He's not here. Why am I still here? It's cold. I don't know why you're still there. I feel like a gosh shabado. I'll be honest with you. I don't know. The good of my heart. I just don't know. The good of my heart. You don't know. You don't know anything. I'm sorry, fans. Adorable boy disciples. Well, we're still looking for Frankenbeans. I don't want to end this on that terrible of a note. So let's get inspired. Can we get inspired, please? Can someone get inspired with me, please? I think so. John Cena's inspiring tweet of the week. John Cena's inspiring tweet of the week. It will inspire you. He will inspire Cena, and this is his inspiring tweet of the week. John Cena will inspire you with his tweets. All right, thank you for that inspirational moment. I needed that. I really, really needed that. Okay, so as always, we will be inspired today, even on this short Adorable Boy podcast. Let's get inspired by John Cena. Huh? He's one of the most inspiring, so let's do it. Here he is, tweet at a Honda Automotive Tire Center. It's at a dealership. And the tweet reads, took the Civic Type R for service and was fortunate enough to pick up the brand new Honda Prelude. Thank you, Honda, for helping add this blue beauty to the Honda lineup. Time to see what this thing can do. And what is America? What is the foundation of America other than seeing the good that we can do, right? Inspiring people to do the best they can, to see to send them out in that world and do the best they can. That's what America is about. That's what inspiration is about. And you might think I'm confusing this with the patriotic tweet of Scott Baio, which we have one of those too. Maybe we'll do that. But this is John Cena, inspiring, getting a new car, inspiring that car salesman in his suit, to be better that day. I'm John Cena. Be inspired. That's what he's saying. And of course, he buys a blue. And some people could say, well, blue is the color of sadness. No, blue is the color of liberty. And that's John Cena inspires us to fight for liberty. And he also inspires his local economy, taking his vehicle in to be fixed, buying a new vehicle while there. It's so inspiring, and it really inspires me to be the best I can. And I hope it's inspiring you to be the best you can. John Cena, thank you for your inspirational tweet. John Cena's inspiring tweet of the week. John Cena's inspiring tweet of the week. It will inspire you. He will inspire you because he's John Cena, and this is his inspiring tweet of the week. John Cena will inspire you with his tweets. What a great way to end this. We had a lot of tips on the super chat. They didn't want to say anything. They just wanted to support us, which is great. Love it. A lot of Venmos where the support is amazing. And we put that right back into the show to make it better for you. Nice short little Adorable Boy podcast today. Again, you want to get our entire back catalog and access to exclusive content. We have the smorgasbord, or do we? And you can join that. It's great. All the fans love it. I mean, it's just a huge success, and we thank you for that. We'll have some new content on there soon, new live streams, the weekly live streams. We do 3 a week. And then sometimes we do this free YouTube one, and we really appreciate all of our fans. So this is Spud Adorbleski. Thank you for joining us on the Adorable Boy podcast, and remember to always be adorable.